Welcome to Wallybra, and in this video, we're gonna sharpen a knife, that we are. Oh, okay. But maybe not this knife, because I think this one's probably sharp enough. Yeah. Okay. That looks dangerous. I'll put this one down, alright? We're gonna sharpen this one, because it's more like saw blade. It's blunt. Alright, so that's what we're gonna do. And we're going to be using an oilstone. Not a waterstone or diamond sharpens. We're going to primarily be using an oilstone. And Norton India oilstone like this one here. Okay? Now these are relatively cheap to buy. That's why I've decided to use them. And they're very, you can use them virtually for everything. But also, you've got a coarse side. Okay? And you've got a fine side. And they last absolutely ages if you look after them. This one's old, several years old, and I use it a lot. People, probably see me using it loads of times in previous videos. So, first of all, I want to maintain the grind, so the primary grind on this actual knife, which will actually be the actual edge as well. Now, the thing is, when you see Gordon Ramsay doing this, effing and blowing at the same time, if you keep doing that with one of them steels, you'll just end up with a bit of a roller coaster. It'll look like a bread knife. Instead, it's like serrated. It won't be straight. And also the heel, which is that part there of the actual knife as well as itself, that'll all be worn away and that bit will be sticking out. So you'll be constantly sort of like hitting that every time you want to cut something. It's not great. This one hasn't actually got a heel. But this masterclass knife here is actually relatively easy to sharpen because it hasn't got a heel. But I always sharpen on something that's flat, like an oilstone or a diamond sharpening plate. Yes, you could use waterstones, but I don't recommend them either, things like knives. I know people use them, but the thing is, they're soft. And anything that has a curve or a round in it, you just mimic that into your soft waterstone. And you'll be removing so much of it every time you sharpen because you're going to have to use a flat to flatten it off again. I insist, I tell you what I do. I use certain sharpeners I use for my plane irons, such as those ones up there, and there's ones I use for my chisels. I try and keep the plane iron ones separate. That's generally what I do, unless I'm using the diamond plates. The diamond plates don't really matter, because you can't reshape them really, can you? Because they're just a plate of steel with electroplated diamond particles embedded into it. Anyway, I'm going to bring it down to this oilstone here. Okay, let's get a bit of paper off. All right. And first of all, we're going to do a few swipes with the Coarse. And I'm using a bit of white spirit as a lubricant. You could use 3-in-1 oil if you like, but I kind of like using white spirit because it's really, really thin and it's still an oil product. You shouldn't really get it on your skin, obviously. Right? So I maintain my edge by effectively just lifting up a little bit. So I'm looking around 15 to 20 degrees. That's all I'm after. It's very shallow on a knife. You'll know where it is. You'll feel it on the blade. You don't need to, you want to see little magnetic guide things and stuff like that. They're a waste of money and a waste of time because they don't really work. And just bring the blade around like so. Do a few swipes like so. And what you'll do is you'll create a burr. The burrs start to form already on the opposite face. So do a few swipes that way. Feel the burr. Yeah, I've got a burr coming there, a bit more maybe. And then do exactly the same on the opposite face. And you'll create what we call a wire edge. Alright, and that wire edge is like a little tiny thin piece of metal that you're bending one way, then the next. It's really, really thin and skinny, but not skinny and thin enough to fall off just yet. So you have to help that to come off. You can do that by, well, I don't want to do this with knives, we can palm it, might be, or you can literally just have a piece of wood on the end grain. I'm going to use the end of my vice jaw here and just do that, and that'll pull the actual peel it off. I can actually see it. You won't be able to see it, but there's actually a piece of metal on my finger. You can't see it's tiny. It's a little strip of metal. Yeah, where it's pulled the burr off. That wire edge. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. Flip it over. Yes, that's what we're going to do. And get onto a smoother side. All right. Again, lubricate it. This will be a little bit more intense. This will require a fair bit more work. I'm hoping I don't need to edit this video, so we'll see. So we carry on with that. And we'll get rid of all the scratches that we created on the coarse side. And we'll carry on creating a burr. And you just try and maintain the angle. Now what you have is we think called muscle memory. Your body you can lock your body up and you can maintain that angle really easily. Now with knives and stuff like that, it really, really works well. And there are a few little gadgets out there you can use to sharpen your knives, like for instance, there's a sandpaper technique or a diamond sharpener. That's a little rod thing, you'll swing it backwards and forwards over the edge. And they do work quite well. They're quite costly for what they are, decent ones are. Or you could make your own. But when you see those knife sharpeners where you pull the blade through like that, don't even entertain them. Waste of blooming time. It's the quickest way to damage your blade after a period of time. And what they do, they literally try and scrape an edge onto the edge of the blade, and there's nothing stopping or nothing preventing that, creating that roller coaster effect again. You know, like a bread knife. So you don't want to use them. They're rubbish. They'll damage your blade. If you have damaged your blade like that, you're going to need to flatten that edge first. You're going to need to go that way. And maybe use a linisher or something like that to actually flatten the blade and start from scratch. Effectively, you regrind it into shape and then sharpen it from there. And then they'll be fine. But, you know, it'd be better if you can actually prevent that in the first place, you know. Prevention's better than mitigation. Right, so like so. I can feel that now. I've got a definite burr there. You hear that? And then we'll carry on the other side, like so. Now these Norton India oilstones are, you know, they're really good and they do last a very long time. I say to you, keep things simple, okay? So when we overcomplicate matters and get too pedantic about stuff is when either stuff doesn't happen because you procrastinate, or you're never satisfied, you're never happy with what you've achieved. I would say I've almost already got an edge on there. Well, it's definitely coming. Not quite there yet, but I can feel it there. That's really sharp there. Needs more work in the back. And now I'm going to use this 3000 grit diamond sharpener. And yet again, I'm going to use white spirit as my lubricant. The problem with these cheap ass diamond sharpeners from Timor and places like that is because they're just electroplated onto a piece of steel, they can rust. So, you know, I don't like using water or even Windex where I prefer to use white spirit. Now I'm just going to do exactly the same on there, but it's going to create a finer edge now because it's a 3000 grit. Don't push too hard. There's no need. This paper I keep trying to cut is actually damp. Workshop's quite damp at the moment because oh, it's not too. Ow! Oh God! Just cut myself. Don't do that. Yeah, that's probably sharp enough. All right, it's probably up to the stage of doing the steel. Right, this is my steel, which I've made using an old. Well, it's actually that was a new drill bit, and I've drilled a hole using that drill bit to make a handle. And that is my steel, because high-speed steel, you see, on the shank. Yeah, don't use an old one that's got all those nasty chuck marks in it. Use a new one. When you do this, make sure you're always pulling away from the blade. Don't get carried away. And also, don't try and remove it from the blade. And, you know, what you got to do is make sure, if you keep contact with the blade, because if you do accidentally go towards your hand, it'll hit the stop of the actual handle. Which you know, otherwise, if you do that, then you can slice yourself. You don't want to do that. Just be calm. I find it quite therapeutic, sharpening. You know, I think it's good for the mind, body and soul. You know, I think it's probably sharp enough. Remember, I'm just holding that, and that paper's red damp. Find a better bit. Oh, no, it's all damp. Oh, crikey. It probably needs a little bit more. It's not bad, though, is it? Certainly cut your tomatoes, okay? Oh, God, it's sharp. So as you see, by using something that is round, you could potentially create a round. If you use something that's flat, you won't create a round. You'll just go with the flow. You'll just go with the shape of the actual blade itself. I think that's probably it. Yeah, that's sharp enough. I've got to remember who's using this. Little missus. She had no fingers left. Oh, I need a bit more work there. Yeah, a bit more work there. That's good there. The paper's quite a good test, really. So it's not sharp all the way along. It's fairly sharp, but there's a bit of a burr there, that's why. It's definitely better. Yeah, that'll do. It could be sharper. But what's the point? Especially when Mrs. probably use it on a glass chopping board or something. Worst thing you can have. Glass chopping boards. Stupid idea. Glass is hard, you know. It's just the quickest way to take off the edge of your knife. Can't beat this over the proper plastic, you know, industrial grade plastic ones, or the wooden chopping boards, chopping blocks. Yeah, that's sharp enough. What am I worrying about? Crikey. And that's just using the, you know, an oilstone and one of these €6 diamond sharpeners from Timu. Yeah, that was Timu, that one was. Yeah, they work a treat. That's plenty sharp enough. Anyway, so it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. And if you've got something like one of these India oilstones, you can use it for pretty much for anything. You know, all your sharpening tasks can be catered for with a Norton India dual oil stone. We'll try and get this is a 8-inch long one, 8 by 2 inches, so 200mm by 50mm. And to me, it's the ideal size. You can get a slightly wider one if you've got wide plane irons, so that'd be even better. But as you can see, it's the Norton India. And this one is India combination oilstone 188. Yeah, and they ain't expensive. These ones are made. These are made in the US of A, and they're really good, especially good for the money. They really are. Anyway, hope you like my little video. And we've got 2 sharp knives, which are plenty sharp enough. I could do a bit more work on it, you know. The same principle, just keep on going. And it'll be even sharper. But I know what will end up happening. The missus will chop her fingers off. That's what she'll do. Anyway, please beat the old like button. And maybe the little bell icon, once you've done the old subscribe and that, because then you get all tongue-tied now. Please beat the old like button. Maybe subscribe to the channel. And maybe the little bell icon, because then you get one fuzzy in your pocket every time I upload and have a video. That's it, isn't it? I think that's right. Yeah. Anyway, it's time for me to go and say toodaloo, you know. So toodaloo, not to the loo. I'm okay, thank you. Toodaloo. All right.